Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in, come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're Aunt Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that light. Don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayer, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. On in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light, hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's, Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, drop your feet. Let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light. Don't forget. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Don't talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. From the jokes to the prayer, she keeps it real. Keeps it real, keeps it real. That's the deal, that's the deal, baby. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house, oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a pussy, come on in and hit that light, oh, your Auntie Mickey's, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, oh.
Ooh-wee. Let me get situated here. How y'all doing this evening? It's Thursday. Yes. I'm so happy this week is almost over. I really am. I'm really glad that this week is almost over. We got one more day to get through. Ooh-wee. Baby, I need to get me something. Never mind. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing this evening? It's wonderful to be here with you, with all my kin folks in the house. Hello, Millionaires Cove. Hello, Diane. Camille's in the house. Hey, Tawana. Ain't seen you in a minute. How are you? Let me see. Faith. Oh my goodness. I ain't seen you in grip. How you been, love? Let me see who else we got up in here. Barbara. Hello, Barbara. How are you, sweetie? Let's see who else we got. I'm waiting to see my husband's name any moment. Hello, Michelle. How are you? There's my satin doll. Oh, there you are. I see you, baby. You right above satin. I see you. Hello, Rachel. Millionaires Cove is here. LaWanda Jackson's here. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello, Kendra. How are you, my love? Let's see. Who else we got up here? That's it. That's all. But I see I got critters in the bushes too. Not everybody in the bushes is critters. Let me fix that. But it has been a wonderful day, a very uneventful day. I haven't had to worry about receiving text messages from people, so I can further talk about them. You know what? Maybe I should check. I ain't paid no attention to my phone today. Let me see. Did I get a random from you know who? Nope. Nope, I haven't. Wonder why. I wonder why. Well. I won't be discussing him tonight. I think enough of that happened last night. Stone and Meech. Actually, they talked about both of them because they seem to want to bypass this. Ain't nobody trying to dream up no narrative to your raggedy asses. Come on now. It is what it is. You are peeped. Live with it. Boy, I tell you, narcissists, I tell you, I know they're not in the title. However, I do have a little gift for that mangy mutt over there in Canada. And it wasn't really intentional because this story is a trip. But you know, yeah, Tawana, they are hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, I was in the chat putting my 2 cents in too. I was in the chat putting my 2 cents in too. From personal experience. Shit. Tell me nothing about what you ain't done. Damn liar. Instead of here lying to people and telling the truth to people and telling more lies to people. How you gonna have some damn brain surgery and you driving around? Oh my God. That didn't fall out of that didn't fall out the sky. Yes, Lawanda. He's got it on members only though, so you have to you have to join the membership to see it. But man, that was epic. To see them two together. I haven't seen them together in a while. That was hilarious to me. That was hilarious. And then Maggie, she over there on Chat GPT, consulting with Chat GPT on a narrative. Bitch, please. When you got to go to Chat GPT to get an analysis of what's going on, you pretty much fucked. Oh yeah, Tawana, I can't help it. They gave me a reason. They gave me a reason. I try to be. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm an old woman. I can really admit that. I feel young at heart, but I'm an older woman, and I'm trying. You know, I'm settled in my ways, and I'm a peaceful type of person. I don't like no yip yap. I don't like all that drama. But I'm sorry, I come from a time when, hey, if you clap at me, I'm gonna clap back. And you only got a few times to clap before I clap. And when I clap like I'm in church. They're not claps, they're slaps. Who's this on my phone? Oh, Lord, my girl is calling me. Hold on just a second, y'all. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry, y'all. That was my best friend. Haven't talked in a while, so she caught me at a bad time. Yes, Michelle, honey, give me my tambourine. I'm gigging. But anyway, yeah, that was my girlfriend from Dallas. Ain't talked to her in a while. I told her to jump in the chat, but she's driving right now, so she can't come in. But man, I found a story today, and I found it by accident actually. And it's about these two white guys, dumb as rocks. Okay, dumb as rocks. From North Texas, and they decided that they were going to overtake an island in Haiti. Can you imagine two dumb people, colonizers? I'll call them colonizers. Hello, Chandra. How are you, sweetie? Wait a minute. Barbara. Barbara said, homicide Holly, not fit to be in society. Well, she's a threat to society per the judge. So no bond for old Holly. Ho Holly. That's what I would never get trying to be Romeca with those outfits. My goodness, my goodness. Yeah, we gonna get to her. We gonna get to her. But yes, justice for Romeca. About damn time. About time. Man. But yeah, I caught this. I can show it to you better than I can tell you about it. But I thought about it and I said, you know what? This would be a good thing for Maggie, the maggot, to report on. Being as though she's very limited in her content. And we've always said, you know, why don't you talk about shit you can relate to? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not throwing her no shade about this. This is something that she could actually report on. But she'll probably not be interested. But hey, I'm gonna pique the interest anyway. Okay? Because this is no joke. These are two stupid asses that thought that they were going to go over to a small, not even a small, this particular island has 87,000 people on it. And these two jackasses thought that they were going to go over there and overturn. They were going to go unalive all the black men. And then they were going to put the women and children in slavery. The women in particular were going to be in sexual slavery. So basically what it boils down to is that we had a couple of horny white boys that like black women, and this is the only way they could get gratification, because clearly they couldn't get no sisters over here. So they thought they was going to go over to Haiti and do their business over there. And guess where it ended them up? Locked up. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Hello, Empress. Hey, Q-Rock. Oh, my God. Hello, highly sensitive introvert. How are you? Hey, retreader. Yes, highly sensitive. For real. This is real. This is a real story. Now, before I get into that, though, I do want to thank God that Romeca Meeks is getting her justice. Honest to God. Honest to God. Hi, Diane. How's it going, sweetie? But oh my God, you know, sometimes you gotta wait for the right thing to happen. But this was too long of a wait, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know who she knew, and I don't care. Not at all. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, let me change my layout here. Right here it says, according to CBS News, woman charged in powwowing, that deleted young mother in Chicago's South Loop. A woman from Chicago's northwest suburbs was due in court Thursday in a powwowing that powwowed another woman in the South Loop in September. It's been September, y'all. We in December now. And they finally getting around to arresting this woman that pulled the trigger. Okay? A woman from Chicago's northwest suburbs was due in court Thursday in that killed another woman in the South Loop in September. Quadajah, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but Quadajah Johnson, 31, she was the other baby mama. That was baby mama number 2. baby mama number one was Romeca. Quadajah Johnson, 31, of Des Plaines, was charged with first degree, you know what, in the shooting, in the pow-powing that killed Romeca Meeks, Blackman, also 31, on Cermak Road near State Street. The shooting happened, let me just say it, I'm tired of bleeping myself. The shooting happened at 9:06 a.m., Monday, September 8th. Meeks Blackman had just dropped off her son at school near when police said she got into a fight with another person who pulled a gun and fired it, shooting Meeks Blackman in the face. It was so sad. I mean, those of us that saw the footage after the aftermath, it was horrible. Meeks Blackman was rushed to Stroger Hospital of Cook County, where she died. She was so beautiful, too. Look at her. Look at that. Meeks Blackman's mother, Tina McMiller, said her daughter was a kind, loving, and sweet mother. Now McMiller is left with raising her own grandson. I couldn't imagine. Johnson, the one that pulled the trigger, was arrested Wednesday at her home in Des Plaines. She was due for a detention hearing in Cook County Criminal Court on Thursday. Sharda Gray contributed to this report. Now, I believe this story is ongoing because when I grabbed it, it was breaking news. This part was breaking news. So I haven't had an opportunity to get any updates. Excuse me. But just know that there's more to come. Exactly. What about the sorry ass baby daddy? That's what I want to know. What have they got to say about him? Because that was awful. That was awful. You got to be one insecure heifer dog. You know what I'm saying? When did you send them, Camille? Today? I haven't seen them because I've been busy. Let me get a tissue. Dang. So, that is... Okay, sweetheart, I'll check it out because I will be talking about this again. Okay? I'll be talking about this again. But for those that didn't see initially, the aftermath at least, of what happened. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit. Come on, come on, come on.
She's the one who shot her. She's the one who shot her. She's order, but she shot her.
This is when it happened. This is right after it happened.
Take in the car. How you feel? She was dropped there. Get off. You're scared as hell, right?
There's old man, boyfriend right there. This is her funeral.
I knew the party of the century. People came over, never left over. And it was all for you. It was all for you.
Let me scroll up a little bit. Prosecutors say Quadajah Johnson has officially been charged months after the fatal pow-powing of 31-year-old Romeca Meeks Blackman in Chicago. Authorities report Romeca was shot after an alleged altercation, a tragedy that shocked the community and left her family demanding answers. The case moved slowly for months, but officials now confirm charges have been filed as the investigation continues. Loved ones describe Romeca as a devoted mother with big dreams, and many online are calling for full justice in her name. And then someone replied, good, then her and the baby father had the nerve to be in matching outfits for Thanksgiving after leaving that little boy without a mother. Wow. I'm not going to go off into all these messages. But at least we know that justice is slowly but surely turning. Slowly but surely. And of course, here we have what the heck is wrong with this screen? Come on, man. There we go. That's the mug shot. That's the mug shot of Quadajah Johnson, the young lady that is now being charged for Romeca's deletion. I don't know who she knew or who she thought she knew, but today, I'm sure she never thought in a million years she'd be sitting here right now, all over social media. No bond, huh? Let me see what you said. Camille says, in court today, the judge said no bond, and the first bump they did was horrific. She ain't look. She ain't looking that confident now, is she? Because she sure was walking around. She stuck around like, and got on the phone, and like she was somebody. I know somebody. Well, you don't know the right one, because guess where you are right now? Sucks to be you right now. Yes. Definitely sucks to be her right now. Oh my goodness. Luanda says, Auntie, sometimes who you know don't apply when the village stands together. Amen. Folks have to let your hand go. That's so true. And wait a minute, she's what? Camille, she's pregnant again? Oh, this is a mess. This is a stone mess. I'll say. Well, to be continued. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. I pray for Romeca's family. I hope and pray that this has given them some ray of hope. Oh, you don't believe it? Well, you know what? We're going to learn one way or another, huh? That's what she said. Don't believe it. If she is, poor baby. I don't feel sorry for her. No, I feel sorry for that baby. I feel sorry for both of these kids involved, because there's 2 children involved in this situation. One is gone, one mother is gone, and another one is locked up. And we ain't even gonna talk about the baby daddy, who's at the crux of all this. Barbara says, oh, she was making plans to take matching pictures on the holidays, but I would never wear matching shirts. Matching jail shirts. Oh my goodness. Tawana said matching jail shirts. Oh, her mom came out. Her mom came out, LaWanda. I saw her mom's speech. She was very grateful for this. That's wonderful. I don't blame her. I'd be so grateful. But you know what? They're gonna have to stand by this. This is not just, arrest somebody and think that you're gonna put everybody at bay. You need to follow through. You gotta follow through and make this young lady accountable, because she was just too damn cocky for me. I'm sorry. No remorse whatsoever. None. No remorse. So I find it very difficult to have any sympathy for her in this situation. I feel for her child. But it's a cautionary tale how a lot of these women get caught up in these dudes. Yes, I was going to say that, and I was trying to be diplomatic, Faith. Over a no good ninja. Exactly. He's still walking free. Free as a bird. Okay, Barbara said, yes, she is pregnant. They took her to the hospital last night. Well, Amir has his grandma. Her baby is still in the system. And this new one will be too. So did they confirm that she's pregnant, Barbara? She made 3 videos, huh? Yeah, you're right, Tawana. You are so right. No sympathy for her or him. How will he explain to his son years later that he was involved? How would he explain to either child? Either child. You got some splaining to do, brother man. You got 2 women pretty much going at each other behind your rusty ass. And you the last one standing. Man, please. Yeah. I would never. Videos is terrible. Okay. Barbara says he won't be free for long. And yes, they confirmed her pregnancy, but the judge did not care about her being pregnant. My. What can you say? You do the crime, you do the time. I'm sure this will go before a jury. I'm sure who knows, maybe the so-called bigwig people she knew can't pretty much take her out of this problem. You on your own, boo-boo. I don't feel bad for you at all. You don't, Okay, LaWanda. Barbara says they go to court this month for custody of Amir. He will not get Romeca's baby. Good. I hope the grandmother keeps him. Because he ain't too stable. I don't care if he is the daddy. Right now, he ain't too stable. Not when you got this kind of drama going on around you. And now you've got this one here. Take care of that one. Well, no, wait a minute. Is this one's baby in the system now? Wow. Yeah, she thought she was going to stay out of jail by saying she was pregnant. Ooh. Big mouth, soft ass. Exactly, millionaires go. Ain't nobody worth me going to prison over. I'm in jail and he out here with another woman, child, please. Amen. The only way I'm going to jail behind another person if it's my children. And I mean my children. Let somebody do something to my children. It's on and popping. I done lived my life. But my grandbabies? Oh, hell no. Do something to one of my grandbabies. My knees will suddenly be arthritis free. My back will no longer have arthritis. And my trigger finger will work well. So let that record show. But there's no man, and I love my husband dearly, but I'm not going to prison behind his fuck shit. Now, if somebody literally took my husband from me in terms of his life, yeah, then I probably will go down for that. We've been together 48 years. I can't throw 48 years away behind somebody else. But if he's in the middle of some crazy stuff, you on your own, boo-boo. Love you. It was great while it lasted. I mean that shit. And I would hope he would do the same for me. We down for each other. But don't do no stupid shit out here. And have me laying my life on the line because you out here fooling with Tom, Dick, and Shaniqua. Okay? And this is the kind of shit that happens when you think you all that. You getting all these babies all over the place. No. That's a pass for me. Faith said soon as he turned on her, he going to jail for lying, and all this is going to come down on him too. Absolutely, he'll be an accessory. He'll be an accessory. There's video footage of all this, and trust me, they're going to look at that with a fine-tooth comb. Exactly, millionaire's code. Auntie, yes, I understand that. I would too. But fighting over a man because he's playing the field, no way. You go on and play baseball. Go on and play that field. No. Ain't no dick worth all that. Ain't no dick worth all that. And see, I'm too old to be caring about some dick anyway. You know. I got all the dick I need throughout my life. And we, cause me and Uncle be looking at each other like, well, it was great when it lasted. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't telling all our business. Ain't nothing stopped. But I'm just saying, we've had some wonderful times. And we can literally look at each other and say, you know what? It was well worth the ride. But this fuck shit right here, this mess right here, no. That brother ain't worth the quarter he has in his pocket. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. He's not worth the quarter and 2 nickels he has in his pocket. Okay? LaWanda says, I wonder has her videos I would never has changed to I wonder if she is saying I would never have done that if I would have just kept going. Chances are she wouldn't have if she would have just kept going. But she got all entangled in the drama and in her feelings. And now here you are. Here you are. Young girl. Young lady. Sitting in prison. Or so soon to be sitting in prison. Because I'm sure she's going. I'm very sure. She's going. You know, she's going. And where she's sitting right now, you sitting in that position because of a man, you should really feel stupid. Sorry. Too bad, so sad, boo. But Romeca wished she could at least, look into a camera and not smile right now. Don't you think? So, pardon me if I don't feel bad for you. Honestly. But like I said, this is going to be an ongoing story. It's going to be updating quite often. And just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. But now, on to this next thing. Lord have mercy. Okay, what happened to what I had here? Okay. This Haitian story, the story about these two idiots in Texas. Let me see, is this the right one? Let me see, which one is it first? No, I want this one. Okay, this is according to the United States Attorney's Office, Eastern District of Texas. And the reason I used this particular page, because there was quite a bit out there about it. This took place in late November, okay? And there was reporting out there that this was a fake story, but it's not. If it was a fake story, would it be on this website? No. It has been on many news reports. It is an actual story. Okay? So, according to the DOJ, United States Attorney's Office of Eastern District of Texas, North Texas men indicted in the Eastern District of Texas for an international murder/kidnapping scheme. Plano, Texas. 2 North Texas men have been charged in relation to a plot that included invading an island off of Haiti, deleting the men on the island, and using the women and children as sex slaves, announced U.S. Attorney J.R. Combs. Gavin Rivers Weinsberg, 21, of Allen, and Tanner Christopher Thomas, 20, of Argyle, were named in a 2-count indictment returned by a federal grand jury in the Eastern District of Texas, charging them with conspiracy to murder, maim, or kidnap in a foreign country, and production of child corn. Yeah. Information presented in court indicates that between August 2024 and July of 2025, these fools planned this for a year. These two jackasses they planned this for a year. Uh-oh. I lost my earplug. Weisenberg and Thomas are alleged to have conspired to recruit and lead an unlawful expeditionary force to the island of Genova, which is part of the Republic of Haiti. for the purpose of carrying out their grape fantasies. They love the sisters, don't they? Probably couldn't get one over here in the States, so they had to go over there and try to conquer. Colonizers. That's what they would have been. Colonizers. Weisenberg and Thomas planned to purchase a sailboat. This is how stupid they were. They were going to purchase a sailboat, firearms, and ammo. Then recruit members of the District of Columbia area, homeless population, to serve as a mercenary force as they invaded Genova Island and staged a coup d'etat. Let me stop right there. They walked the streets of Washington, D.C., attempting to recruit homeless men off the street. Yes, Faith, that's exactly what they were trying to do. They were walking the streets of D.C., High Desire and Fire, walking the freaking streets of Washington, D.C. to recruit homeless men in this endeavor. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry, this shit is hilarious to me. But it's serious too, because we got some nutcases out there that really think like this. Weisenberg and Thomas intended to murder all of the men of the island so that they could then turn all of the women and children into their sex slaves. Let's break it down. They didn't say they was trying to take over a nation, so they could, They were doing this for some coochie. Think about it. This was for the women. This is for the women. They went through this. Oh, you got to hear the rest of the story. Weisenberg and Thomas undertook numerous overt acts in furtherance of their invasion plan, including making operational and logistical plans, learning Haitian Creole language, recruiting others to join the invasion plan, and researching and enrolling in schools to acquire skills relevant to the invasion plan. Dumb and Dumber. That's right, Michelle. Dumb and Dumber. Thomas even enlisted. Check this out. He didn't enlist in the U.S. to serve his country. Thomas even enlisted in the U.S. Air Force to acquire military skills relevant to the invasion plan. So he joined the freaking Air Force so he could learn. I'm not here to serve my country. I'm going to learn how to invade another one. Oh, fuck. You can't do. All you can do is just shake your head. This is the most botched plan of overtaking a country as I've ever heard. Exactly, Faith. But I would hate to think that all the past ones were this botched. Jesus. Weisenberg and Thomas are also charged with production of child pornography. in a related count in the indictment. So they was dabbling in that too. That was on the side because they couldn't get no sisters to give them anything. Probably couldn't get nothing from them white girls either. So they looking at kids. They getting their rocks off on kids. If convicted of the federal conspiracy to commit, in a foreign country, Weisenberg and Thomas face up to life in federal prison. If convicted of the federal production of the child corn charges, both face at least 15 years and up to 30 years in federal prison. They just threw their entire life away. This case is being investigated by the FBI, U.S. Air Force Office of Special Investigations, and Salina Police Department. The case is being prosecuted by Assistant U.S. Attorney Ryan Locker. A grand jury indictment is not evidence of guilt. I can't even read this without laughing. All defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. I wish they put that last sentence on everybody's announcements of, you know what I'm saying? I only see this on certain people's stuff. Yeah. They want to remind us that, they're not guilty until proven guilty. They're innocent until proven guilty. We know that. We know the Constitution. We know all that. Come with that same energy when you catch somebody that's stealing something out of the store because they're hungry. You don't see that little blurb at the end of that announcement for them. I'm just saying. Wow. Hello, Laverne. How are you, sweetie? But I thought that this story, in all actuality, would have been a very good story for our friend Maggie over there in Canada. Because, like I said before, she has a hard time. Well, I wouldn't even call it a hard time. She don't even try to talk about things that are relevant to her. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not making no jabs at, her ethnicity or anything like that. But I'm just making this point that there's so much more out there to talk about besides the back and forth about what you did, what that person did, and making up lies on people and all this stuff. Things just like this. Stories just like this is what you could be reporting on. You are from that country. But you're so wrapped up in what black folks is doing over here in America that you can't see beyond that. I wouldn't doubt that faith, especially if you know who's in there. Especially if you know who is in there. Now, if y'all can't hear this, something definitely wrong. Okay, hold on. Okay, now let me make sure that it's turned on.
North Texas men accused of plotting to invade a foreign island, kill the men, and take the women as sex slaves.
Prosecutors say one of the men enlisted in the Air Force to get military training he thought he needed. Fox 4's Blake Hansen in our newsroom tonight with these stunning allegations. Blake.
Yes, Stephen Heather, federal prosecutors say the suspects didn't plan to go it alone. In fact, the feds say they plan to recruit people who are homeless in Washington, D.C. to serve on their, quote, expeditionary force and take over a small Haitian island. The grand jury indictment handed up today charges 21-year-old Gavin Weisenberg from Allen and 20-year-old Tanner Thomas from Argyle with conspiracy to murder, maim, or kidnap in a foreign country, as well as a charge of production of child pornography. Record Joe Weisenberg was booked into the Collin County Jail in July. We've not been able to find a mugshot for Thomas. Prosecutors say he was in the U.S. Air Force at the time. The place they are accused of plotting to invade is called Genova Island. It is part of the Republic of Haiti. It's not small. In fact, that island has about 87,000 residents. Prosecutors say Weisenberg and Thomas plan to lead that expeditionary force by sailboat to the island, murder the men, take control of the island, and then turn the women into sex slaves, according to prosecutors. The feds say the plan dates back to August of last year. They say Weisenberg enrolled in a Rockwall Fire Academy to learn command and control protocols, but flunked out in February.
Flunked out. This is Dodo Bird 1 and Dodo Bird 2. One enrolled into the Air Force, another one into firefighter training. And the dude that went into firefighter training, he just didn't make it. He enrolled in Rockwall Fire Academy and pretty much dropped out. But they continue on with their plot. They continued on with their plot. Hold on.
They say he then traveled to Thailand to learn how to sail, but didn't enroll in the school due to the cost. The feds say Thomas, meanwhile, enlisted in the Air Force in January and in March, changed his station assignment from Germany to Maryland to better coordinate the invasion and recruit the homeless population in D.C. We reached out to attorneys listed for Weisenberg and
these two were really serious. These two were really serious about what they were doing. Weirdo number one decides that, okay, well, I couldn't make it in firefighter training, so let me go over there. I'm going to go over there and see if they can teach me how to do what we, want to do. And he gets over there and they say, well, yeah, we can teach you how. It's going to cost you some money. Oh, I don't have any money. But your broke ass took yourself all the way to Thailand? I mean, really? Maybe you should have looked it up online before you got on that plane. What a dummy.
Did not hear back. We could not find attorneys listed for Thomas. Prosecutors say they face up to life in prison if convicted on the conspiracy to murder charge.
Kill the men and take the women as sex slaves. Kill the men and take the women as sex slaves. Kill the men and take the women as sex slaves.
If you didn't know already, white men make up 29% of the U.S. population, but are accounted for over 77% of the people caught with child. You know what?
Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Now, let's get into today's story, not wasting no time. Now, I was originally going to have this as part of the culture, the series, the culture, but I felt like we might as well just have this topic by itself as a standalone topic. So today we have, as you can see by the headline, two white men from Texas have been indicted in a plot to assassinate all the men and enslave the women and the children on a Haitian island. The prosecutors claim that the men plan to buy a sailboat, firearms, and ammunition before recruiting homeless people in the D.C. area as a mercenary army to stage a coup d'etat motivated by rape. Now, listen, you already know which demographic is responsible for such criminal activity. You already know which demographic is responsible for what we're about to talk about today.
Dumb and dumber. Faith said, Brokeback Mountain. Ain't it the truth? Brokeback Mountain. That's it. That's it. That's all. Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumb Diddly Dumber. I mean, for real. But they went out of their way, spent money to go over. This one dude went over there, went to Haiti. He went over there. Tree Rogie. I can't say what you said, but yeah. Weird man walking is more like it.
And like I say, when it comes to me, this particular demographic, I'm very familiar with these guys, man. Nothing they do surprises me. My ancestors wrote literature explaining their mentality, their proclivities, and their activities. So when it comes to me, nothing they do surprises me at all, right? Nope. I'm a very well-studied black man who knows my history very well with these people. Anyway, let's get into the story. In North Texas, federal prosecutors say that two young men aged 21 and 20 years old spent nearly an entire year planning an attack on a Haitian island, the island of La Gonave.
No home training. They still, 20 and 21 years old. And this is the best they could come up with to get some coochie. Because that's what this all boils down to. They couldn't get none over here, so they're going to go over there. Let's kill all the men. We're going to take the women and put them into servitude for us, actually, and the children. Matter of fact, that's what they plan to do with the children as well, because they have a child pornography charge. So this was about self-gratification. They never considered that they were going to, the two of them, along with a bunch of homeless people who didn't take them up on their request. They was going to get on a sailboat and float on over there and take over an island with 87,000 people living there. Boy, if that ain't retarded, I don't know.
Just home to approximately 85 to 87,000 people. 21-year-old Gavin Rivers Weissenberg and 20-year-old Tanner Christopher Thomas of Argyle, Texas, allegedly developed an international plan to sail to the island of La Gonave off the coast of Haiti, eliminate all the men there, overthrow the local authorities, and then place the women and children into slavery, with the particular focus on the exploitation of the minors. The court documents describe an extended preparation period going back to August 2024 through July 2025. The investigators say that the pair had learned Haitian Creole. They researched weapons and equipment and actively tried to recruit other people into the scheme, including homeless people in Washington, D.C., to form a makeshift army. One of the suspects even enlisted in the United States Air Force, allegedly with the goal of gaining military skills to use in the planned attack, while the other suspect enrolled in the fire academy to learn command and control procedure. He later traveled to Thailand intending to study sailing, but never completed the course due to the cost.
Never completed a course due to the cost. What, he couldn't learn how to sail here? Don't they have... I don't understand these people. How you gonna go all the way over there to learn how to sail? Tree Rogie says going to be called Beavis and Butthead Island. You ain't never lied. Don't they kind of look like the cartoon too? When you think about it. That's him right there. Man, who would have thought that there were such idiots walking the face of the earth? I mean, honestly.
According to court documents, their intended mission involved purchasing a boat, obtaining firearms, ammunition, and other weapons, sailing to the island of La Gonave, killing the entire male population, and forcing the women and children under their control. Federal agents also noted that both the suspects already face serious accusations involving crimes against minors in the United States, involving a charge that they coerced a young person to produce illegal images and videos on camera back in August 2024. This case also highlights a broader issue long raised by Haitian authorities. For decades, white men from various countries, most often presenting themselves as missionaries, volunteers, or charitable workers, have been implicated in crimes against Haitian children.
Now, there's the play right there. There's the play right there. A lot of these PDF files, they take it upon themselves to go to these, what they perceive to be impoverished places, and have their way with children. I mean, really, this is nothing new when you think about it. This is nothing new under the sun. Think about what they were really trying to do. They wanted them babies. That's why their charges are so high, because they got caught with child pornography. What else would possess you to take your rabbit ass over there, thinking you're going to delete all the men, all of them, and the government, and take the women into servitude to you and the children? What do you think the children were going to do? Sick. These are some sick son of a bitches, I swear. That's right, they sure would have. Chandra, ain't it the truth? They would have effed around and found out. Don't you go over there trying to mess with them people. And you a pale face too? Huh. You're going to be wearing feathers up your ass in a minute.
The allegations in this indictment fit into the wider pattern where vulnerable communities are intentionally targeted by outsiders, particularly white men, who view the region as a place where they can act with impunity. Both suspects, Weisenberg and Thomas, are now charged with conspiracy to commit murder, maim, kidnap in a foreign country, a federal offense carrying a potential life sentence, along with the production of harmful material involving minors, which carries a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison. Now, this reminds me because I remember the exact day because I was watching the conversation happen on the internet as it was happening, right? There was this guy, right? He had over how many subscribers he had on Twitter? He had over 300,000 subscribers, right? And I remember seeing him on the internet. He was going viral because he said, how come us white men don't just invade Haiti and let's just take Haiti, bro. Let's just go down to Haiti with like 50 guys with handguns and let's just take territory, right? And like a bunch of white men in the comment section, man, let's do it, bro. Let's do it, bro.
They don't want that smoke. They don't want that smoke, y'all. Trust and believe they don't want that smoke. But can you imagine those two guys were just the two idiots that were caught? But there are others out there that have that same mentality. They have the same mentality. Diane said, well, they would have never got away with it, and the Haitians would have gotten rid of these two problems. They sure would have. But you know what? This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip of the iceberg. These are not the only two that have this concept in their head. And that's the scary part about it. Well, I wouldn't say scary. It's almost hilarious because they're taking a little bit too much for granted that you ain't got it like that no more. History taught them something that you can no longer do. Let me shut up. This is going to make me pissed off.
I'm in. What time we leaving? What time we going? Let's do it, right? And I was just watching the conversation, from the shadows, right? Just watching the enthusiasm and like how they were talking, right? So now when I see this happen, a year later, and they said that these guys started planning their attack around the exact same time that this conversation was happening on social media. I think this conversation happened around like summer 2024, and they said these guys started planning their attack back around summer 2024, right? So, it's just very interesting to me how I saw the conversation happening live on social media, and then these guys actually went out and tried to put it into action. right? But of course, nobody has their eyes on this demographic because everybody thinks that this demographic is full of upstanding citizens, good, righteous, moral people. And due to the fact that they spend billions and trillions into propaganda, rewriting fake history, right? Rewriting the historical narrative on themselves as a demographic, people tend to underestimate the level of barbarity and savagery that these guys exhibit on a regular basis. That's why we have the illustrious broadcast called The Culture. Go to my playlist section. We have over 40 episodes where we discuss the crimes these guys commit every single day across the nation and across the world. But anyways, I want to go back to that conversation where these guys last year, summer 2024, they were just casually having a conversation about invading Haiti and committing atrocities against the local population.
And now look at him. I don't know if that guy is the same guy. Kind of look alike. They kind of look alike, but you know, either way it goes. People were in the comment section, yeah, let's go. Riling up nonsense. Ain't that what happened on January the 6th? Somebody got up there and planted a seed of nonsense. And look what happened. That's right, Laverne. That is absolutely right. Just to let you know that we are living in the last days. And that's true. But their last days is going to be a lot worse than anybody else's.
Right? Just casually talking about just committing mass murder and just mass crimes against humanity on the internet for everybody to see. And it was getting a bunch of likes, a bunch of retweets and everything. And notice that the guys that were arrested in this case, their motivation behind doing what they were doing was not motivated by, natural resources. It was not motivated by wealth and prosperity. It was not motivated by territorial expansion. It was motivated because they wanted to have an island full of children that they can touch on. Yep. They wanted to have an island where they could just touch children with impunity, yep. Right? We want to kill all the men, right?
That's
Get
right.
the black men out of the way just so we can touch on the children as well as the women, but mainly the children though, right? These guys concocted an international plot to overthrow an island off the coast of Haiti, which is still Haitian territory, by the way, just so they can touch on children, just so they can have their own personal Epstein Island full of thousands of black children that they can commit illegal acts against them with impunity, right? We're going to overthrow the local authorities. We're going to become the local authorities. We're going to eliminate all the black men around just so they can touch on children, bro.
They must think their last name is Columbus. They really thought that they could pull this off. They really did. Until that knock on the door from the FBI. Sorry. The jig is up. But wait, we didn't really go over there. Didn't have to. You dumbass.
Anyway, bro. Let's get into this conversation that I saw happening on social media, right? Remember, this was back in summer 2024, and I was watching it as it was happening. I was at work. I remember the exact day. I was at work. I was looking at social media, and I was just looking at the comments. I was just looking at the conversation. And now fast forward to today, 2 men have been arrested for actually taking action based off that conversation. Anyway, so this guy said this. He started the conversation. He said this. I don't see a reason why we cannot invade Haiti. Haiti has a bunch of islands off the coast. Notice, that's where they were going to invade, one of the islands off the coast, right? You have the main island, then you have a bunch of little, smaller islands off the coast, like Genova, Tortuga, et cetera, et cetera. But that's still Haitian territory. Anyway, he went on to say, I'm not sure if they have even invented the boat yet, so it's likely a ragtag team of 50 armed men that could take the tropical island, kick off the locals, and make it another tourist destination, tax haven paradise, and let the Haitians continue eating each other on the mainland or whatever. Now, this guy said that he's not sure if Haitians ever had any boats. Do Haitians have boats? Let me just, a Google search. Have Haitians ever had boats or warships? Yes, Haitians have had boats and warships, including the Haitian Navy from 1860 to 1915, and again from 1970 to 1994, which included gunboats like the Quadajah. Haiti also currently has a coast guard with patrol boats. Additionally, small custom-built boats like the Haitian sloop have a long history in the country. Now, that answer was only half true because Haitians have had boats since the beginning of the country. For example, going as far back as the reign of King Henry Christophe back in the early 1800s, as early as 1811. He had a fleet of warships off the coast in his early 40s. Take a look up on the screen. Christophe was more ambitious than Pétion, and his efforts built up his infrastructure and defense and his reputation overseas. He accumulated a fleet of ships and started a navy which controlled the local waters. For all of his success, the threat of a French invasion never diminished. Christophe's advisors thought that having a ruler of equal rank to the Emperor Napoleon would be more effective in staving off any aggression. They respectfully suggested that Christophe be declared king, and it did not take much convincing to get him to go along with the idea. He became King Henry I, preferring the English spelling, and changed the name of the capital to Cap Henry. The coronation was on June 2nd, 1811, in the cathedral that was built for the occasion. In about 2 months, he was officially crowned King Henry by the grace of God and the constitutional law of the state, the King of Haiti, the sovereign of Tortuga, Gonave, and all the adjacent islands. I repeat, the King of Haiti, the King of Tortuga, the King of Gonave, and all of the other adjacent islands. That is Haitian territory. I don't care if it's La Gonave. I don't care if it's Tortuga. I don't care if it's any of the islands off the coast. That is Haitian territory. I repeat, the King of Haiti, the King of Tortuga, La Gonave, and all the adjacent islands, the destroyer of tyranny, the regenerator and benefactor of the Haitian nation.
They said, wait a minute, history lesson, people. This is a history lesson. For those that don't understand, pay attention. Pay close attention.
Creator of the moral, political, and martial institutions, the first crowned monarch of the New World, the defender of the faith, the founder of the Royal and Military Order of St. Henry, just in case there was any doubt about his authority. Listen, man, get these white men the fuck out of my face with their fake history. Oh, do they even have boats over there? Do Haitians ever have the boat? All these guys do is lie. Their entire identity and worldview is based on a foundation of falsehood and fabrication. Your entire identity is based off falsehood and faking it till you make it. Yep. Nothing about you is authentic. Your entire being, your entire essence is based in fraudulence. Nothing about you is honorable. Nothing about you embodies integrity. Your entire culture is based on fabrication, bro. It's based on false teachings, false history, false doctrine. Nothing about you is real. You're a fake motherfucker. Anyway, let's continue. On October 1817, the Haitian authorities captured a Portuguese frigate that was carrying 145 Africans from Cape Verde to Havana. The captives were liberated and described as being in a terrible state, with many having already perished during the voyage. Christophe's government actively opposed the slave trade, which was still a major issue in other parts of the world at the time. This naval operation was a significant, symbolic, and practical act of liberation, demonstrating Haiti's commitment to freedom for Africans. So like I said, if Haitians never had boats, how come we was liberating our brothers off them slave ships back in 1817? But like I said, when you come from a culture built off fake history, fake narratives, fake propaganda, everything about you is a fake motherfucker, right? Everything about you fake. Everything come out your mouth is fake. Your whole essence, fake, fraud, fabricated, phony, counterfeit. Ain't nothing about you real. You're a fraud.
And the cool part of it about it is that we see this every day in our school systems. They teach what they want to teach to make themselves look good. Lying to these kids, oh, we don't want our children to know about the history of this, that, and the third because, you know, it's not important anymore. No, it is important. If you're trying to hide what has happened in the past, that shows me you trying to repeat it in the future. Absolutely.
Anyway, let's continue. Let's get back to the conversation from last year, summer 2024, when they was on social media just casually having a conversation about taking a trip down to Haiti with only a handful of guys and let's just commit mass atrocity against the local population that never did nothing to them. But anyway, let's continue. They said this, the person at the top, I'd have to say invade and take Tortuga. The person at the bottom said, good point. The person below them said, you are overlooking the fact that they have sticks. The person at the bottom said, I'm in.
Sticks.
Let's continue. This person said, really? Invade, just blanket it with chemical weapons, right? So let's just commit biological warfare against innocent people. Let's continue. This person said at the top, send them all back to their home continent of Africa where they can do nothing as usual. Person at the bottom said, all you have to do is blockade it for 6 months. What? Like they can feed themselves? The added benefit is that the Dominican Republic will fortify their big, beautiful wall against the literal zombie invasion. Then go clean up the picked over bones, execute the half dozen remaining denizens for being cannibals, and then Haiti is yours.
Wow.
Now, keep in mind, they're talking about a group of people that never did anything to them, right?
Exactly.
Guarantee if you go down to Haiti, man, listen, you know, the old lady down at the market to give you a plate of food. The young kids will probably be like, man, you came from America? Oh, man, that's what's up, bro. Man, that's awesome. You want to play a game of soccer with us? Like, they'll just, you know, treat you like family, like all love, no hostility, just, you know, good energy, positive energy. And these guys talking about, man, let's just let's execute them and let's blockade them and starve them to death. Let's kill all the men. Let's take all the women as concubines, and then let's abuse all the children.
Now, let me just say, this does not mean all white people. I have to say that. Not all white people have this mentality. However, to have any in this country is still dangerous. It's still dangerous. Yeah, Millionaires Code. They really thought that they were going to do something and had the audacity to be surprised that they're locked up. That's that entitlement. That's what entitlement looks like. That's right, Faith.
Wow. And keep in mind, this was a viral conversation, you know, getting thousands of likes and interactions, people actually, you know, giving their tips and tricks on how to, you know, execute and commit mass slaughter against the Haitian people. I would just sit at work watching it like, wow, you know, just the, you know, how comfortable people are just talking about just wiping my people off the map.
That's a lot of entitlement to think that you can sit online and have this type of conversation for anybody to see. Any demographic can open up that line and see, just like this brother did, see them openly discussing this travesty, this idea, this concept, and it just further shows the level of entitlement that these people have. That's right, Faith. That's the real deal right there. Some don't even try to hide it.
You know, it's funny as hell. But like I said, I'm accustomed to it. Since I was a child. I've seen the mainstream media paint my people in the most negative light possible. I've seen fake history be rewritten about my people. You know, the European narrative of Haitian history, just total fabricated garbage. You know, as a Haitian child, you grow accustomed. You build this thick skin to where things like this might shock the average person. Like if you go online and see a group of white men talking about just assassinating your people, exterminating your people, usually somebody might be shocked by that. They might be taken aback. But me, I've been like witnessing things like this since I was a child. And usually, and honestly, that might not be the most healthiest thing for a child to witness growing up in the world, but it actually helps you build a thick skin to where when I see a certain demographic, you know what I mean? Nothing you do or say surprises me. Like, I know who you are. I know what you are. I know what you're capable of. Like, there's no level of depravity that you can shock me with. Like, there's no story I hear, you know, from white men where I'm like, wow, you know, damn. Like, I'm never shocked when I hear a crazy story coming from you guys. And that's why we have the illustrious broadcast called The Culture. You guys inspired me to start a news broadcast where I actually go through all the crimes you guys commit on a daily basis. So this is actually right in line, right? Abusing children, committing, you know, crimes against humanity, against innocent people that never did nothing to you. This is right up your alley, right? This is right up your alley, right? So I'm not surprised. You know, I'm not surprised. You know, it is what it is. I've built a pretty tough skin. I built a pretty tough skin. So nothing you guys say really bothers me because I don't really respect your opinion. Like, I don't really respect the opinions of white males. Like, if I see you in the street, I'm not going to bother you or have any hostility towards you, but I don't really respect your opinion on serious matters. You know, I'll listen to you. You know, I'm going to be cordial and hear what you have to say, but I don't really take what you have to say serious, really. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care what you have to say. You know, I really don't. I really don't care about your opinion. I really don't care about how you see the world because I know, like I said, you come from a culture that's based on a foundation of falsehood and fabrication.
Amen. And that's how I view the government. That is exactly how I view our government. Doesn't matter about Republican, Democrat, independent. It doesn't matter. This country was built on this kind of fuck shit. This is how this country was built, on this same type of fuck shit. Millionaires Cove says, Faith, yes, they do, so I won't be surprised if they get off. If they do, boy, that just tells me even more so how in the toilet the Constitution is further going down.
So 9 times out of 10, anything you say is not even based in reality. So like, I don't even take you serious on anything. You know, when I wake up and I see, oh man, 2 white guys, we're going to go to Haiti and kill all the black men and abuse all the children. Oh man, a fork found in the kitchen. Oh man, oh damn. You know, it's like seeing a young child in Brazil playing soccer. Who's surprised at that? Anyway, let's continue. This person said, we don't even need to invade. Just arm the Dominican Republic and give them the green light as well as air cover. Right. So
wow.
These guys talking about, man, let's use the DR as a rear base of destabilization. But you know what's so crazy? That's actually using it as a rear base. But the Dominican Republic, a very common method. That's why you never want to have a hostile entity on the other side of your border, because that can be used as a rear base of destabilization. That's also the reason why the United States doesn't want other powers like China and Russia to have too much influence with neighboring nations in the region, right? They don't want even like nations like Haiti to build relations with Russia or China, because they don't want, Russia or China to, start having a footprint in the region, because then you're going to have them too close by. That can be used as a rear base of destabilization. You never want to have a hostile entity on the other side of your border. That's just common geopolitics 101, to where even these guys say, let's not go directly. Let's go, next door and use the DR as a rear base of destabilization. Anyway, let's continue. This person said, I've been trying to get my boys to help me ethnically cleanse this island of 10,000 people for years. They aren't convinced yet. So he was talking about one of the adjacent islands off the coast, right? So he said, man, me and my boys, we've been talking about this, going to one of the neighboring islands off the coast and just eliminating all the blacks and just taking it for ourselves, right? So he said, man, when me and the boys get together and we having beers and we just kicking it, having conversation, we've been talking about going to Haiti and committing atrocities against them. Wow, man, listen. Anyway, let's continue. This person said at the top, hear me out. Take that little island south of the Western Peninsula, build a big house with several dozen small guest huts, bring in a young staff, lease some aircraft, and voila, Congress is on your side. So these guys talk about, man, let's lobby the United States government to help us in our crimes against humanity. The person at the bottom said, return the Haitians to Africa. Let's continue.
Wow. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy that these people literally got on social media, on a public platform, and made such specific plans. And where do they get it from? Where do they get it from? It doesn't sound too far-fetched considering who we have in the White House right now. I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't sound too far-fetched from what we have sitting in the White House right now. This is the kind of shit that he's capable of spewing, but he has to do it behind closed doors or else it would look bad. But he's gone so far as to humiliate and talk against the Haitian people. So it wouldn't surprise me if he'd be all down for it.
This person said, I've actually thought the same thing. We gave up empire way too easily. Places like the Bahamas, Belize, we definitely could have kept them, no problem. It's no reason to not take Haiti, impose order, and keep the smaller islands, make it a crown colony. Now, I assume this guy is British. Now, does he not know that the British have already attempted this like over 200 years ago, right? The British around the same time, the French and the Spanish, all of y'all tried the exact same thing. Let's go to Haiti. Let's kill all the blacks. And and what we do, we killed you and your whole family, killed you and your mama too, and your children. Yeah. And your elderly. Yeah. And the dogs. So maybe if you guys actually studied the true narrative of history, the true events as they took place, instead of the fabricated, falsified version that you guys promote all through the world, then maybe you would know that what you're saying already occurred long time ago and it failed. It failed terribly. Almost all of you died, right? Take a look up on the screen. 100,000 British men couldn't even capture Haiti. Let's get into this one.
Wow.
It cannot be denied that both the government and the British public had learned a lesson from Britain's disastrous attempt to conquer Saint-Domingue. That was the name of the island under the days of colonialism, to restore slavery and subdue to Louverture. In 1796, nearly 3 years after the first British forces landed in Saint-Domingue, the British administration sent off one of the greatest expeditionary forces in British history. Before the end of the year, Edmund Burke received news that 10,000 British soldiers had died in less than 2 months. It was reported that in the House of Commons that almost every British citizen had a personal acquaintance that perished in the Haitian campaigns. In the end, the British lost over 50,000 soldiers in their attempt to bring slavery back to Haiti. This had a direct influence on the British decision to end the transatlantic slave trade. So yes, when you guys go around with your fake history, your fake propaganda, your fake narrative as it took place, and you want to pat yourself on the back and talk about the British abolished slavery, you never want to admit that one of the main motivating factors was because the black man absolutely slaughtered you in Saint-Domingue.
Absolutely slaughtered you. Okay? Diane said, these two don't even know their ass from a hole in the ground. They better get off the streets and go get their reward in prison. Absolutely. But there's more of them out there. That's the sad part about it. There's more of them out there all over this country. Thanks to social media, they're able to convene and make these obnoxious plans.
Absolutely destroyed you on the field of battle to where it actually got you nervous because there were so many black men in your colonies, young age, fighting age men that were especially active in the colonial militia. You had a bunch of armed black men in the British colonies, in the local militia, the colonial militias, right? So you were scared that that same energy, right? That same energy from those black men in Saint-Domingue would be transmitted to those black men out in Jamaica, those black men out in the Bahamas, those black men out in your neighboring colonies. And then they would take that same energy and bring it straight to your doorstep. So you say, you know what? We need to stop bringing these guys into the colonies. Let's end the transatlantic slave trade. That's the true narrative as it took place. But instead of giving the true narrative, you go around and say, oh, the reason why we abolished slavery was because we were just such amazing men. We're just such honorable men. Yeah. We're just so moral and righteous and religious men, and we believe in Jesus Christ, that we did it for morality and philanthropy and charity and for humanity. But in reality, you did it because you took such a beating in Saint-Domingue, right? We put you on your knees. We put you on your knees at our mercy in front of the entire world. One of the largest campaigns in British history. And just like the Spanish and just like the French, we gave you a beating back on the colonies. So like I said, man, this whole fantasy, oh, let's run it back. Let's run it back for the 2025. Let's run it back. Listen, I don't think you want to run it back. Anyway, let's continue, man. Let's continue. These guys raising my blood pressure, man. You know, these guys trying to put me in an early grave, man. Let's continue. This person said probably a few hundred ex-military American guys could take the place over. So like I said, they were really in here really brainstorming. They was really in the operation room, really brainstorming, you know, the plan, right? In broad daylight, in front of everybody on social media. Let's continue. This person said we could easily crowdfund it. We can easily crowdfund it. I don't think we need 6 months, 3 months tops. So like I said, 3 months, kill all the black men, take all the black children. Let's continue. This person said the Dominicans will be our greatest ally. So you see, you notice how they play upon our divisions amongst each other?
That part right there. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. That is a general practice when it comes to black people. The division and conquering. Y'all pay attention, y'all. Pay attention.
You notice how they identified the friction amongst different groups to see how we can, you know, split them apart against each other? That's how they operate. They think, okay, bet. Who has a problem with the Haitians? Who doesn't like the Haitians? The Dominicans? Bet. We're going to use the DR as a rear base of destabilization and as our main ally in this campaign. That's how they operate. That's exactly how they think. That's how they do it. Even Trump right now talking about let's go into Nigeria to save the Christians. He knows, okay, what's the divisions in Nigeria? The Christians versus the Muslims, right? The Fulani versus this person, the Igbo versus this person. They already identify all those divisions amongst each other, right? Even, you know, in the Sahel, the AES in Mali, what's going on in Mali? Oh, the Tuaregs versus the government. This, you know what I mean? They play upon our divisions. Let's continue. This person said, I volunteered to be a part of 50. We divide the land by 50. So this said, man, listen, I want to be a part of the 50 men that, you know, disembark on Haiti to kill all the black men and take all the black children and take all the black women as concubines. Let's continue. This person said, perhaps we should restore order. The person at the bottom said, they'll be better off if we did once the dust settles. This person said at the top, I'm down, let's go. The person at the bottom said, I am tired of all the other countries getting to do all the colonizing. So he said, man, listen, I want to get a piece of the action, right? I'm tired of all the other white guys going all over the world and committing illegal acts against children. I want to commit some illegal acts against them too, right? I want to get a piece of the action. Well, how come the other white guys get to have all the fun and the American white guys can't have no fun too? Let's continue. Now, I want you to see the level of interaction this conversation got. Like, for example, take a look up on the screen on the original post. It got over 25,000 likes. Right when the original guy said, let's just go down to Haiti, let's just wipe out all the black men, let's just take all the children, let's take all the women, and let's just set up, our white ethno state right in the middle of Hispaniola, right?
25,000 likes on that conversation. 25,000 likes. And in retrospect, that's really, if you look at all of them around the country, but 25,000 people is still a lot of people to have this kind of hatred in their heart. 25,000 people. My God.
25,000 likes, right? 1,200 retweets. That means at least 1,000 other white men agree, right? And then you see thousands of comments. And of course, I bookmarked it, right? I didn't like it. I didn't retweet it. I bookmarked it over a year ago, right? Because obviously, if I see somebody on the internet talking about, let's go kill all my people, I have to save that conversation. I wanted to keep tabs on that individual, and as you can see, the plan was put to action, right? Maybe it might not have been the original guy, but somebody in this conversation said, you know what? Let's go do it for real. Let's get it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Which, like I said, is right in line with his demographic. Welcome to the culture. Let's continue. This person said the reason is women. So this guy said the reason that we should go over to Haiti to eliminate all the black men is to take all the black women for ourselves. And I'm assuming the black women, he's also talking about the toddlers and the underage children too. Judging by this demographic, when he says women, I don't think he just means 18 and over. I think he means like 3 months old and over, right? The infants and up. That's what he means by women. Let's continue. This person said, your widow will be on here begging to pay for the funeral costs after you get hung from a tree by your intestines.
Wow.
Let's continue. Listen, this brother right here tried to talk some sense into him. They were just sitting around having a whole conversation. Oh man, me and my boys always talk about this. Yes. And then this guy came through as the voice of reason. Let's continue. This person said, can we make our new Haitian island a white ethno state? If so, I am in. Right, bro. These guys had people signing up from all over the world talking about, man, I served in the military. I've served in this. I have experience with this. Let's do it. Let's go, use the DR as a rear base. These guys were really in here brainstorming out on right in the middle of social media on Twitter, bro. This person said this. I'm in. I have 5 years of small drone and military drone ops experience. Right. So this guy said, man, listen, I served in the army. Listen, I'm with it. I can provide my expertise,
Let's bring all of what we've learned in this country in terms of the military and stage this fantasy to take over an island of people that have never done a thing to us. Not one thing, but because you want to colonize, because that's what's running through your blood. That's something that you've been taught. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Oh, I would love to participate in the operation. Let's continue. This person said, this would be a movement that I would be behind. A couple of autistic drone pilots build the entire operation out of the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, right? So like I said, a bunch of these guys say, man, you see how they play a part? You see how they play against our divisions? Multiple guys came into the conversation. Let's use the DR as a rear base because they know that there's elements in the DR that would definitely sign up for the operation. You know what I mean? What? We can make the other side of the island white. You know what I mean? Like I said, the culture of the DR is different because they had their ethnogenesis, as they say, in a different fashion, right? They're mostly the descendants of white men and indigenous women and African women. So of course they have that typical thing going on in their society where, you know, making the society whiter, getting closer to the whiteness. The white part is better. My father's heritage, my European forefathers' culture is superior, right? So it would definitely be, you know, one of them want to be conquistadors that would definitely provide some assistance to these, these foreigners. Man, let's go take some territory over there, make it white. Right? I'm not saying all the Dominicans is like this, but they would have definitely found some accomplices along the way. Why?
There's one thing I will have to say, though, is that we didn't hear this kind of rhetoric so outwardly placed out there for all to hear until Mr. Agent Orange got back in office. We heard it when he was in office the first time, and then when Biden was in office, it kind of died down. We wasn't hearing all this, and then now that he's back in, oh, they are literally pumping the airways with it. Wow. Yes, faith. They were taught how to be supremacists. And the main one standing there in the office right now is further trying to teach them how to be. Let's get some new recruits in here. Really? No, buddy. Take your cankles on somewhere else.
I think so many of them are throwing this option into the ring. Anyway, let's continue. This person said, I am in. I have experience, right? So, man, everybody, man, I have experience. Listen, I can contribute. Let's get. And these are white men from all over the world, not only in the United States. Obviously, these two guys that got caught there from Texas, but it was white men from the UK. It was white men from Ireland. It was white men from Canada. It was white men from all over the world, right? White men from France. They were all like, bro, let's go. Like, and that was funny as hell. Hey, let's continue. This person said about 100 white people well-armed can take over Haiti, right? So as you can see, I don't want anybody coming into the comment section and say, oh, don't make it about race. Clearly, they have made it about race. Even this guy said that 100, he didn't say just 100 well-armed people can take Haiti. He says 100 well-armed whites can take Haiti, right? This was clearly a campaign that they framed it as white men, right? We're going to disembark on Haiti. We're going to eliminate all the black men on one of the, adjacent islands. We're going to keep the women and children there to essentially be tortured for the rest of their existence. That was the plan. It was clearly framed as an attack of white men against black men, right? So don't come to me and say I'm making it about race. Clearly, they made it about race. I'm just reporting the news. Let's continue. This person said, some rich guy could legitimately invade and own the country. Are there any resources that can be exploited? So this guy's the only one who's actually thinking somewhat pragmatically. See, the rest of these guys, they're only thinking about, the children that they can abuse and things like that. They're only thinking about all the innocent people they could slaughter for no reason. This is the only guy thinking like, man, are there any natural resources over there? Like, they got gold over there. They got uranium. What's going on? Like, can we get some money? Like, what's up? The rest of these guys, they only focus on, little babies and little children, abusing women and killing black men, right? Just barbarians, right? This is the only guy who's like, man, where the resources at? This the one guy out of the whole bunch who I've seen like, bro, is there anything like pragmatic or like useful that we can get accomplished out of this? The other guys are just purely focused on this because they want a safe haven where they could like commit crimes against innocent people, like their own Epstein Island. Anyway, going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, how nothing these guys do surprises me. I can just show you just a list of, headlines that, came out in recent times. And when these guys come down to the country, take a look at some of the things they get involved in. Look at this headline. A former street kid says that an orphanage founder molested him.
Now, I heard about this earlier. My God. And I guess this is the head molester in chief.
Right? This guy right here, right? These guys are always getting federal indictments for coming down to the country, right? Under the cover of darkness, under the cover of a friendly face, and then trying to, commit crimes against humanity. It's just that these guys, the ones who got arrested today, they were going to do it on a large scale level. They were at least planning in their minds to do it on a large scale level, right? That is like crazy, but this is not anything new, is what I'm saying. Take a look up on the screen. Douglas Perlis has been sentenced in a Haiti sex abuse case. This guy right here, right? I believe he was coming. Oh, I want to help the impoverished youth. I want to give back in the name of Jesus Christ. Right. Take a look up on the screen. 165 years in prison for a Michigan man in a Haiti sex abuse case, right? This guy right here. So as you can see, man, I was not surprised when I seen, some random white guys from Texas were going down to Haiti and we're going to wipe out all the black men so they can touch on the children. Wow. What else is new? Next story. A former missionary has been sentenced for illegal acts against children in Haiti, right? This guy right here. And that's why back in the early 2000s, a lot of nations came together, like nations like the United States, nations like Germany, France, the UK, Netherlands, Australia, New Zealand. Pretty much every nation that had a certain demographic as their population, they all had to put extraterritorial laws on the books. All the lawmakers came together. They put international extraterritorial laws on the books that would allow them to prosecute their citizens that go overseas to commit illegal acts against children, because it became such a rising problem of a certain demographic of their population going out the country just to commit criminal acts against innocent and vulnerable populations, right? A certain demographic was so prolific and going to places like Thailand, like Singapore, like the Philippines, like Haiti, like Kenya, like all over the world, right? And taking advantage of the privilege that they have, the privilege of their American passport, their French passport, their British passport, their Western passport, as well as them being from a certain demographic.
And that's it right there. The privilege. The privilege that this country provides them just because of what they look like and how they became who they are. Black folks have had to fight and scruff for what is handed to them their entire lives. Point blank period.
That typically, due to media propaganda, people assume that they are good people, righteous people, upstanding people. So they take advantage of that so they can commit illegal acts under the cover of darkness. So it became such an international scandal that governments from all over the world, mainly the Western countries, had to put extraterritorial laws on the books that would allow them to prosecute their citizens that go overseas to commit criminal acts against children in foreign countries. Because after so many stories started popping up, it became kind of a liability for their foreign policy. Because imagine you're a government, you have diplomatic relations with different countries, you have agreements and deals with different countries, but your citizens are going overseas and committing illegal acts against the children of that nation, right? So you begin to build a reputation of being an exporter of predators around the world. So that's why they had to put these laws on the books, because of a certain demographic, right? A certain demographic was so prolific in committing illegal acts against children all over the world, right? All over the goddamn world. Anyway, let's continue. A missionary from Virginia who lived in Haiti is sentenced to 23 years for committing illegal acts against children and admitted that he committed illegal acts against at least 21 boys. This guy right here, right? So like I said, man, these guys have an international reputation.
Now, you know what this puts me in the mind of? What the Democrats were accused of. Hello. This is the very thing that many Democrats were accused of doing when Trump was in office the first go round. And doesn't it make sense now? I'm only saying what I'm saying. This is just me talking what it reminds me of. They talked about Pizzagate. They talked about all kinds of things like this going on. Where's them African girls over there in Africa that Oprah opened that school for? Where are those girls?
Right. But of course, they cover it up with, Superman movies and all these different movies that portray them in a positive light. So people get indoctrinated by the propaganda and their fake history. Oh, we brought civilization to the world and we abolished slavery and we're the utmost righteous men of the planet. Right. But in reality, we know the truth under the darkness and the fabrication. We know the reality. We know the reality under the propaganda and the fake bullshit you put up on the TV screen. Come on, brother. Take a look up on the screen. A former minister sentenced to 25 years for molesting Haitian children, right? This guy right here. So like I said, man, nothing they do surprises me. Nothing they do shocks me. It's just like, it is what it is. These things are simply amplified by the climate that we are living in, right? Donald Trump kind of ushered it in when he ran on the campaign. You notice that this was right around the time that Trump was actually running on his campaign on the anti-Haitian propaganda. The Haitians, they eat cats and dogs and this, that, and the third. And the Haitians, we got to drive the Haitians out of the country and things like that. When in reality, Haitians are not even the top 10, top 15 of those that migrate to the United States. That's like the Chinese, the Vietnamese, the Koreans, the Guatemalans, et cetera, et cetera. You got to go through a long list of people before you get to the Haitians. But for whatever reason, Trump's base was galvanized. We got to drive the Haitians out of the country. And right around the exact same time, these guys were talking about, in fact, not only do we have to drive them out of the country, we have to go to Haiti over there and commit mass atrocities against the people in their country, right? So it is what it is. Simply amplified by the climate that we are living in. But these statements, these sentiments have always existed. These anti-Haitian sentiments have always existed. Like I said, since I was a child, I've watched white men say all type of barbaric statements against my people, when in reality, my people did nothing to these people. The only crime we committed was the fact that we had the audacity to defend ourselves and not lay down. That's it. That's the only problem they have. That's the only reason they have animosity, is because we defended ourselves. Is because we did not allow you to exterminate us like you planned to. The goal for Napoleon's military invasion back in 1802 was to exterminate all the blacks off the island, similar to what the guy said. But in this case, he wanted to only eliminate all the black men. But Napoleon said eliminate the black men and the black women and even the black children as well. So this idea of white men wanting to come down to the island to eliminate the blacks, this goes back centuries, right? This sentiment goes back centuries. But the sentiment is amplified due to the climate that we are living in. A lot of these white guys are emboldened nowadays due to the political climate, the social climate, even though a lot of our people are sleepwalking. But a lot of these guys they feel emboldened to now come out the closet and operate out in the open. And
the cool part about it is they seem to think that the Haitians are still living in the jungle, that they have no way of fighting back. They clearly don't know the history. Clearly they don't. Because somebody lied to them too. But they still have this perception that they are above and beyond, until they F around and find out and take that real ass whooping that Haitian put on them in the first place a long time ago.
Speak out in the open, openly engage on social media, talking about committing atrocities against innocent people down in Haiti, right? Just last year. Of course, I was watching it in the shadows. Now we see these guys actually put it into action, right? Anyway, let's continue. Look at this headline. An American pastor who adopted Haitian orphans is charged with crimes against children. The grand jury charges between in and around January 2014 up until December 2017, over 3 years, almost 4 years. The defendant, Mr. Corrigan Clay, a United States citizen whose last known residence in the United States was in the Western District of Pennsylvania, traveled in foreign commerce from the United States over to Haiti and resided temporarily and permanently in Haiti, a foreign country, and engaged in illegal acts against minors. Now, I could continue on and on and on and on. I could even go to different countries. I could go to the Philippines. I could go to Thailand, Kenya, Ivory Coast, different places where these guys go to engage in their illegal acts, right? I could continue for the next 30 minutes, next hour, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stop it right here. But what I'm saying is this idea is not new, right? This idea of we're going to gather an army. We're going to go down to Haiti, and then we're going to go fight the black men for the land, right? This sentiment, y'all did this already. Y'all tried this already, right? You did it already. I don't understand why you're trying to run it back over 200 years later. But what I'm really shocked by is the fact that almost none of these guys were actually motivated by any economic motivation. None of them were doing it like there's some natural resources down in Haiti. There's a reason why Christopher Columbus, that was the first place.
That's the thing. That's that entitlement. Because we can. We big and bad, so we can.
He landed the island of Hispaniola because of the gold and all the natural riches. So it's a lot of natural riches down on the island, right? It is. That's the reason why the United States has constantly been bothering us for centuries. Take a look up on the screen. The United States Navy sent ships to Haiti 19 times between 1857 and 1913 to protect American lives and property. In 1914, during the U.S. occupation of Haiti, American forces took control of Haiti's gold reserve, totaling approximately $500,000, and shipped it to the National City Bank of New York. This gold became part of the United States gold reserves and was eventually moved to Fort Knox. So as you can see, there would be some economic motivation if you were somebody who was thinking along those lines, but none of these guys were thinking along those lines. These guys planned this whole thing out just so they could touch on children.
Yep.
Just so they could touch children and also have some
women.
black concubines.
Yep.
But their main motivation was just to carry out crimes against children on a mass scale. And their first order of business was, we're going to eliminate all the black men that we see, right?
That's
eliminate all the black men, and then the women and the children are ours. Wow. In 2025, bro. 2025, man.
History.
And I saw the conversation as they were planning it live on social media over a year ago. Anyways, man, you know, this video went longer than I thought. I really thought it was going to be shorter. Anyway.
Wow, that is crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell, but it's indicative of the times that we live in. We live in a time right now that history is trying to repeat itself and correct what they tried to do before. They trying to redo it again. You're going to fuck around and find out. Just keep trying. Just keep trying. And look stupid in the process, or dead, one of the two. Wow, that's crazy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live. It went a little longer than I anticipated, but I'm glad that I did show this video. And, you know, hopefully we can learn something from this, and some other folks that are from that demographic might learn some history as well, because clearly a lot of people, black and white, are unaware of the history. And another thing is that I would hope and pray that Miss Maggie over there takes a long, hard look at this. And I'm not trying to throw no shade, but be proud of your people. Talk about your people. You come from a great country, and you're doing some fuck shit right now. So take the time out. Now, I'm not trying to bash you right now as much as I would love to. I'm telling you, take the time out to do some content that is worthwhile, that will uplift your people. Thank you guys so much for coming, and I will see you tomorrow night. Absolutely, Diane. Absolutely. Doing all this stupid crap she's doing on her channel is serving no purpose other than to look stupid. You know, you playing right into that very demographic's hand. You're not doing your people a service at all. So, with that said, I'm out. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I love y'all. Take care. Good night.
Hey there, my kinfolk, thanks for stopping by. Auntie Mickey's house, where we reach for the sky. Every comment and smile, you make my heart glow. Together we're strong, together we grow. From gossip to politics, we cover it all. Sharing laughs and thoughts, having a ball. Your support means everything that I know. Feels like family here in this sweet show. So let's keep it flowing, keep the love alive. Every moment together makes me thrive. You're more than viewers, you're my kinfolk. You see, my gratitude runs deep as the sea. Thank you for being here, for sharing your time with each comment, with each rhyme. You're my kinfolk, my family, my crew. So much love to all of you. Turn up the camera, let's make it bright. Your support lifts me up, takes flight.